I found contraceptives in my partner's bag, but they're not for me because I'm allergic to them.
Oh no, were they for your partner maybe?
This morning, I was helping my 25 female boyfriend, 23 male, get ready for work. He asked me to grab his toothbrush and toothpaste out of his toiletry bag. He has one of those electric toothbrushes with the detachable head, and I couldn't find the head. So I opened up another pocket to look for it, and I found contraceptives. A lot of them. By the way, this comes from Sad Twigs on the BestofRedditorUpdates subreddit. So, he was gifted this toiletry bag for Christmas before he left on a 3-month trip to visit family in Europe. He acted surprised, like he didn't know they were in there, and took them out immediately. He acted like he didn't know that pocket existed. I'd give him the benefit of the doubt, but at some point, these contraceptives were packed in his bag over the past 6 months. We've been together for 2 years. The worst part is their latex. I'm allergic to latex. Rough. We only use non-latex contraceptives in addition to my birth control. Am I overreacting for feeling suspicious about this? I feel like I'm going crazy. Update. I've seen the comments and I'm kind of freaking out. I'm messaging my therapist right now to figure out the best path forward. I was there at Christmas when he was given the bag. It was at his best friend's family house, so part of me is hoping that his best friend put them in there, not knowing I'm allergic to latex. We haven't been intimate as much lately, maybe once in the past 2 months. I've been really scared that he's not attracted to me anymore because that's what most people say on here is the reason for someone's spicy sleep drive changing so drastically. He asked me to move in with him when he came back from his trip, and I said yes. So now I feel really trapped. Like, what if he's been cheating this whole time? He's been living with me. He shares his location, but that doesn't really mean anything. I'm on here all the time. I've seen the stories of how people cheat even when sharing their location. I wish I hadn't seen anything, and I don't know anything he could say to make me feel more secure. Someone said I shouldn't have asked so I could snoop and find out for sure, but I don't want to have to snoop through my partner's belongings to find proof of them cheating on me. Yeah, no, you should be able to talk to them.
Exactly.
We shouldn't snoop. We shouldn't be snooping.
It's like it's already pretty bad if you have to do that.
Yeah. A relationship without trust is dead. Exactly.
Boom.
This is what I'm... OP's...
Did we write this?
You're doing great, OP.
What?
We're supposed to talk later, and I'll update afterwards. Everyone is so sure he's cheating, and I really hope he's not because I don't think I'll be able to handle it if he is. I'm already struggling with my mental health as is, and there are some comments and another update. But what do you think? Do you think he's cheating? Do you think there's something else going on?
I mean, I think it's pretty fair to be like, hey, these, I'm allergic to these, so what are you doing with them?
Yeah, what's going on there?
But also, it's like, well, maybe the friend put them in there.
I was going to say, I feel like there's a possibility that the friend was like, here you go. And he was like, I can't use these.
It was like, hey,
and he just forgot about them.
Hey, I hope you get to use these.
Yeah. Like what was, I mean, like what, should he have thrown them out? Given them as a gift to some other friend?
Throw them back in his face.
Yeah, like, I can't use these.
She's allergic to these.
Trying to kill my girlfriend?
But I think it's not a good sign.
No.
It's kind of, you're not necessarily like crazy for thinking like, what's going on?
Yeah.
But you gotta have the
Conversation. But there are some comments, so let's find out what kind of conversations they're having there.
Oh yeah.
Park Plug Nightmare says, this combined with the sudden decrease in spicy sleep y'all are having is a red flag. Superfly 2024 says, my sister found a large box of the brand of contraceptives we use in a hidden pocket of my now ex-husband's large military bag. He has been on deployment recently and my niece used that bag to move. We haven't used contraceptives in years. Asked him about it and he said it must have been a bad joke his squadron played. I was ignorant. Why would his squadron know the brand of contraceptives he used? Fast forward one kid and another on the way, I found messages on his Facebook where he was extra friendly to a woman on his post who he was deployed with. He made me feel like I was dumb and overreaching with those messages. A month later, he asked me for a divorce. I was 6 months pregnant with our second kid. He was and still is the worst. Trust your gut. Good luck.
Wow.
And there is an update 2 days later.
That's a pretty relevant comment.
That was a really, they were like, I've been through, hopefully not something exactly similar to your situation.
It started pretty similarly.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's not looking good. He was on a 2-month vacation in Europe. Came back with the contraceptives in the bag.
Yeah. I think the most telling part is his reaction of like, that pocket
played a joke.
Where was that pocket?
That pocket was always
used
there.
that pocket?
I've never even seen contraceptives before.
Did you? Yeah, I never learned what those are.
Yeah, we had really bad sex ed in my school. I don't even know what that is.
It's just too embarrassing.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
it's pretty suspicious.
Imagine really trying to be like, I don't even know what those are.
I've never seen that before in my life. Update 2 days later. Well, I definitely was not expecting to see over 1,000 comments on my post. This update is long to address everyone's concern on the previous post. Thank you to the people who sent me kind messages to check on me. I'm not sure what the people who sent me messages trying to F me were expecting aside from getting blocked.
Shoot or shoot.
That's crazy. That's crazy to read this story and be like, yeah, I'm interested in this person.
Yeah.
The writing, it's just too good.
The time is now.
That being said, I did have a conversation with my boyfriend last night. I was always planning on having an in-depth conversation about what I found, but there was nothing I could do about it while he was at work. I texted my therapist because I could tell I was starting to spiral and posted on here while I was waiting for her response, which I think was a mistake, if I'm being honest. Although the majority of the comments were supportive, it's impossible for y'all to have as full a picture as my therapist does, and I should have just waited for her to respond to me instead of coming on here.
Yeah,
I mean, you should have waited for your professional therapist instead of Reddit?
What a hot take that a therapist is better than Reddit at understanding you?
I don't know. Personally, I think the only people that you should be getting your advice from are Redditors and us.
You might be in the wrong subreddit.
Yeah. I think you should just try another one.
Yeah.
The massive amount of comments was very overwhelming. However, I do think that posting did help me feel more secure in thinking I was suspicious. It was suspicious. And enabled me to be more assertive when we talked. I appreciate all the comments telling me I was not overreacting. He never said I was, but his nonchalant response certainly made me feel that way. I appreciate the thought-out comments encouraging me to have a conversation with him and giving me genuine advice for it. The second conversation went better. We'll love to hear it. I didn't accuse him of anything. I pretty much just said that finding non-latex contraceptives, in addition to the lack of intimacy I'd been receiving, was making me feel confused and upset. I asked him where the contraceptives came from. His older brother gave them to him while he was in Europe. To prevent confusion, I'm going to use fake names from here on out. My boyfriend is Theo. His oldest brother is Alvin. His other brother is Simon. Yes, like the chipmunks.
Yeah,
I couldn't think of other names for 3 brothers.
I was about to say, those are definitely the chipmunks.
Those are the chipmunks. She's dating a chipmunk. Sorry. Theo hadn't met his mother's side of the family, including his mother, grandmother, aunt, and older siblings until his trip. The entire purpose was to get to know his family. He spent half with his aunt, grandma, brothers, and cousin in Spain. The other half of the trip he spent with his mother in the middle of nowhere in Portugal, helping her open a kiosk. It was not a sightseeing trip. He didn't get to see any big monuments or go to major cities. I was not able to come because I'm in school and work full time, and it wasn't worth it for me to just come for a week during spring break. I also thought it was important for him to enjoy his one-on-one time with his mom since he was separated from her when he was an infant. His brothers are very different people. Simon seems well-adjusted with a long-term girlfriend. He spent a lot of time with Simon and his girlfriend, who was the only one there fluent in English, and helped him translate when his Spanish fell short. His oldest brother, the 30-year-old who gave him the contraceptives, Alvin, has been in and out of prison for a majority of his life. I guess Spain has some weird laws around squatting, so whenever he gets out of prison, the dude just claims abandoned properties and fixes it up to live in, because I guess the government would have to provide him housing if they kicked him out.
Wait, what?
Okay.
So he's
in Spain?
Is
just
that
squatting?
He's getting arrested over and over again?
No. No. He's getting arrested for different reasons.
Oh, okay.
But whenever he gets out of prison, he just squats in a place.
He just claims an abandoned property.
Anyways, while Theo was on the trip, he called and texted me every day. He told me about Alvin obnoxiously catcalling girls when they all walked down the street, and how Alvin had tried to get both him and Simon to go to an orgy with him, despite both of them having girlfriends.
Hey, that's not a very cool thing to do, man.
Alvin, what is this energy? Theo was very clear about having a girlfriend. He carries around a picture of me in his wallet. And his aunt said he talked about me a lot while he was there. That's so sweet. Theo seems good. Despite this, Alvin was very pushy with him about how he should be effing a bunch of women while he was there and having fun.
Hey, so you know we're on a Euro trip.
Spain.
Big brother, little brother Euro trip. He's a bunch of non-latex contraceptives.
I remember this from when Theo was there. He found it really annoying. So did Simon. I guess during one of those conversations, Alvin straight up gave Theo a bunch of contraceptives to use to cheat on me. It is a really good sign that they had those conversations on the trip, like about how annoying Alvin was.
Yeah.
Side note, I counted them based on a comment someone left about how many are typically in a pack. They're all still there, I think. There's 8. I don't know how many come in the packs in Spain. Theo hid them in his bag. He said he would have left them there, but his aunt cleaned his room regularly and he didn't want the drama of his other family members seeing. Once he got back, he forgot they were in there. He only uses his toiletry bag when he goes to the gym. We went out together with our friends Saturday night after his shift and stopped at the gym on the way downtown so he could shower and freshen up. Otherwise, his toothbrush is in our bathroom. He's not living out of a suitcase. He's fully moved in. I do see how some commenters saw the existence of the toiletry bag as a red flag when we lived together, so I wanted to clear that up. I did ask him why he accepted the contraceptives. He said he had zero intention of using them and that he accepted them because Alvin wouldn't listen to anything Theo said about me and that he left him alone after that. I will say it's a little bit suspicious that the first conversation that they had, Theo was just like, oh, it was a friend playing a joke on me. Like, didn't he say that? Or was that from the other commenter?
I think that was...
I think he said something about it was a friend.
He said how maybe his friend put it in there because it was... So if he knew this...
Exactly. Why wouldn't he just say...
Well, maybe it was the thing where it's like he doesn't want to, like, put his brother in a bad light because if this is a serious relationship, it's like you're kind of also dating the family in a way.
It seems like he doesn't really know his brother. Like, this is the first trip where he's getting to know his family.
You just, like, don't know your brother and then go on a Euro trip? No way.
I don't know. He might have been adopted.
They had to have known each other.
It seems like they didn't ever really met that much before, or like at least didn't. I don't know. That it said that this was the first time that he was seeing a lot of his family members. So I don't know. Theo didn't even say goodbye to him when he left. He tried to spend as little time with Alvin as possible, despite him constantly inviting both Theo and Simon over to his abandoned house. Carp said OP thought it was a friend, and the commenter was the person who said that it was. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Simon grew up with Alvin, but still seemed pretty content about avoiding him when I asked about it while Theo was there. I guess he's just not a good person, so the rest of the family avoids him when possible. Yeah, it seems like Theo just wasn't super involved with the family for maybe, I don't know, some reason. So that's it. My boyfriend didn't cheat on me. The contraceptives came from his older brother. I believe him. He was very straightforward with his answers and was more concerned with my well-being when he came home and saw how upset I was. He wasn't defensive at all. He listened to me without interrupting. He told me he loves me and that he has zero desire to cheat on me. Yay. He also works 2 jobs, shares his location, and usually is at home if he's not at work or the occasional gym visit. He doesn't have the time to see other women. And if he does have spare time, he spends it with me or his friends, who are also my friends. He does have friends separate from our friend group at work, but he invites me to come along when they've gone out or asks me to join them when they play Overwatch after work. I love him, I believe him, and I'm moving past this. That doesn't mean I'll let any additional red flags slide if they pop up, though. As many of you said, I'm still young and have my whole life ahead of me. If things get worse, I know I'll be okay by myself. I love him and I want him in my life, but happiness doesn't depend on his presence. Hope he's taking this pretty well, it seems.
Sounds like
she's like, he's not cheating on me, but if he was, I'd be fine.
Yeah. But
it's
if he
totally
was,
chill.
I would totally bounce back instantaneously.
I would look so good. I'd have a massive glow up.
Everything would be fine because I do not depend on him for everything in my life.
Tony Spiliaco says, I don't know. He kept a known allergen in his possession. I think that he'd want to get rid of any threat to his partner's well-being without being told to do so. I will say, like, when I came back from my trip, there was just tons of stuff that I left in my bag and didn't even think about. So if this is a bag that is not,
it's like a whole trip to Europe.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much stuff in those bags.
There's just tons of stuff just chucked in.
And from his reaction, he really didn't know. He's like, what pocket is that?
Yeah.
Whose pocket? I didn't even know that pocket was there. Maybe he really didn't.
He might not have.
I know we just said that like if he was joking, but
he might never
really
have
might
seen
not
that
have
pocket.
remembered that pocket existed.
I have a therapy session tomorrow, and I've had a lot of time to think. In hindsight, I think what made me spiral the most was that if he really did cheat on me, I'd be living with a stranger. I've had so much trust built up towards him, so I view him as this person who would never hurt me intentionally, or yell at me, or cheat on me. If he was capable of cheating on me, he could be capable of those other things too. That was really scary to think about and made me spiral. The massive amounts of comments where everyone was so convinced he was a terrible person and that I'd been fooled also did not help. I felt like I had no idea how he would react towards me if it was true, and I was very, very scared. As soon as he came home, I felt very silly for feeling that way. He's nothing like my ex. He's never given me a reason to be afraid of him. I shouldn't have let comments on the internet freak me out so bad, and I definitely need to take some time away from Reddit. I hope I addressed all the questions and concerns in the comments. Thank you all for your help. Thank you for listening. And for the commenters who had questions regarding our spicy sleep life and relationship in general, when he first came back from his trip and moved in, things were normal and we both had high, spicy sleep drives. Things started slowing down pretty drastically over the past couple months. We've talked about it prior to me finding the contraceptives. We both acknowledge that it's an issue and that we're at an age where our spicy sleep activity should be at its peak. He says he doesn't know what's wrong. He's embarrassed because he's attracted to me and doesn't understand how he can have a gorgeous girlfriend and lose his spicy sleep drive. Is his words, not mine. He has an appointment next week to get his hormones checked and has been looking into getting a therapist of his own in case the issue is mental and not physical. It's still difficult to not feel insecure when I try initiating and he's not in the mood, but he still makes an effort to show affection in other ways. Our current level of intimacy isn't ideal, but I don't think it's a lost cause as long as we're working towards a solution together. We have date nights every week. I'm very supportive of him spending time with his friends, and he does the same for me. We live together, but no one's clingy or codependent. We do check in with each other to see how we're feeling about the living situation, since it is somewhat new and we're still figuring out how to divide and conquer. We both contribute equally and do our best to make time for ourselves and each other despite our busy schedules. I have 14 credits this summer and barely exist outside of work and school, LOL. And there is more, but we're going to pause there. What do we think? Do we think there's any cheating? Do we believe OP there's no cheating? Can we do a poll?
I believe him.
You believe?
I think just there was a little hint in there, I think, about her ex-boyfriend having done something like that before.
So she's kind of overthinking.
So she's priming herself to like think that that's the, which when you do find like, latex thingamajigs that you're allergic to in your boyfriend's bag, you're going to be like, hey,
what's up with this?
There seems to really be only one reason you'd have these.
Yeah.
And it sounds like he gave a solid reason as to how they ended up there.
Yeah.
And also was like, yeah, I know I am still attracted to you. And tell him to get his gut biome checked.
Interesting.
The gut biome can mess with the
microbiome?
Yes, the microbiome of the gut.
Interesting.
Can have all kinds of weird issues.
Anyways,
enough about us.
There's more.
Let's get to them.
For the commenters who had some things to say about me having a therapist or mental health issues, I try my best to ensure that I am my main support system. I've been in the position before of being someone's emotional punching bag due to their mental illness, and I would never ever put someone I love in that position. I'm in therapy because I have experienced an extreme amount of trauma and don't want my CPTSD to impact my life and relationships in a negative way.
What is CPTSD?
Child PTSD? I don't know. I guessed at that.
Certified PTSD?
I grew up with a mom with severe anxiety and most likely undiagnosed PTSD related to the trauma both of us experienced at the hands of my biological father. She doesn't believe in therapy. No, that sucks.
Yeah, it does suck.
Oh, Jellybus says means happened over years.
Complex PTSD.
I had to call 911 several times as a small child because of her panic attacks. That is so hard. I love my mom and our relationship has come a long way, but the last thing I would want if/when I have children is for me to be an unstable parental figure. My usage of therapy doesn't warrant me staying single. My therapist has been very encouraging of this relationship since my boyfriend asked me out 2 years ago. I had gotten out of an incredibly abusive and toxic relationship the year prior and had zero intention of getting into another serious relationship anytime soon. I was thriving and my therapist thought I was ready, but I told my boyfriend that I needed to focus on myself and we took things slow. He was respectful and patient every step of the way until I was ready. He has never raised his voice at me or even cussed at me. He is a very caring partner. I think his love language is based in quality time and acts of service. He's not great with words, but he tries. He can be a bit emotionally distant at times and not know exactly what to say when I'm upset, but that doesn't prevent him from being there and giving me a hug when I need it.
Aww.
And there is more, but I think just pausing, I think it's really impressive that despite OP having gone through all of this trauma and PTSD, it wasn't rushing to any conclusions.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I feel like a lot of times we read stories where they find, you know, some sort of red flag and they immediately jump at their partner.
Yeah.
They're like, "Are you cheating on me? What's going on?" And she was like, "Hey, I just wanted to bring up that I'm a little confused."
Yeah, because that's really what it is.
So valid.
It's just like, I don't understand how this makes sense. Can you tell me how it makes sense, please?
Yeah. And I think that's so impressive for someone who clearly is in therapy because she knows how to handle stuff.
Well, and that's why therapy is good.
It works, man. It works.
Therapy helps you process everything in your life.
You're doing great, OP. We've been going through a rough patch with our intimacy, and when I was off my meds, I felt like he and everyone else in my life viewed me as a burden, despite him telling me he'd be there for me and for me to just ask for whatever I needed. He's told me many times that he's still attracted to me and that it has nothing to do with me, but when I was feeling low, I kind of let my past trauma impact how I felt about myself. Being repeatedly SA'd kind of made me feel like my worth is based in my sexuality. So having a boyfriend who isn't all over me anymore made me feel like there was something wrong with me. Like if I'm trying to initiate and I'm available and the person who loves me doesn't want it, but someone else was willing to take it from me when I didn't want it, what does that say about me? I know that's not rational and I've talked a lot about it in therapy, but it is something that I struggle with sometimes. I posted on here during a low time with my depression because I needed to vent and didn't want to burden anyone I knew with my irrational negativity. Depression is weird, especially after years of therapy. When I'm at my lowest, the intrusive thoughts are overwhelming, but deep down, I know they're irrational and that they'll eventually pass, even if it doesn't feel like it on the surface level. I know some of the things I said then were concerning, but I really wasn't in any danger. There's a lot of things I want to accomplish in my life, and I know I'm capable of them, even if it does feel hopeless sometimes. OP's gone through a lot.
Yeah.
And just really seems, obviously still is working through things and working on things, but seems well adjusted.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't think you can, like level-headedly ask somebody like, what are these like, come on, what's going on here? I don't think I would have reacted that way.
No.
I would have been like, Excuse me, sir.
What's all this then?
What are these?
Yeah, Zola Darling says, I need the number to Opie's therapist. They're doing great work.
Yeah.
I know I have people in my life who love me. I just have a hard time reaching out for help when I need it and need to be better at letting people be there for me. My mom raised me to be really self-sufficient, and she's also got a lot on her plate with my dad being sick, so I don't want to bother her and make her spiral more than she already is. I've been set back a lot with my education because of all the stuff I've been going through, but I know I have a bright future and that I should be proud of myself for making it this far. I love that. I am back on my medication and am increasing the frequency of my therapy appointments from once a month to every other week. I was doing well before I went off my meds, so I'm doing my best to get back on track. Sorry for rambling. I know I don't owe anyone any explanation of my mental health on here, but I know some people were worried. I'm okay. I'm going to be okay with or without my boyfriend.
That's so
This is
so poignant.
Yeah. This is just like really like the focus on, because at first it felt like, oh, she was kind of protecting herself. She was like, I don't need my boyfriend. It's fine. But it feels just like I love my boyfriend. He loves me. But also, you know, my mental health is not hinged on that.
Yeah.
Which just seems
It's
like a
not
really
all
healthy way to go.
wrapped up
Yeah.
entirely in my partner.
Mm-hmm. She's trying to not be overly reliant on him. And I appreciate
and that's
that.
the way to
That's the way to
be.
do it. My mental illness does not prevent me from being a loving and supportive friend and partner. Using therapy doesn't make me a weak person incapable of standing up for myself and making decisions. Comments are somewhat mixed. New to the crew 444 says, you're very self-aware and good at articulating your feelings. If no one else has said it today, I'm proud of you. We've been saying it.
We're literally over here.
We're
so
shouting
full
into
of
the
pride right now
rooftops.
for you, OP.
Yeah. Opie says, thank you so much. Julia Skig says, you did well with your boyfriend. He did well with you. Live Tomorrow says, that is such a convoluted story. It sounds like BS to me. I've come to the conclusion over the years that the more elaborate a lie is, the less believable it is. However, you know him best. And you know nuances and little details and dynamics we do not. So I'm happy for you that you see a path forward. That was such a backhanded
quick 180
comment.
right there.
It was like, I don't believe these lies, but you know him.
But
so
you do.
if you say so, I don't know. That's
if you
lame
say
comment.
so is the perfect. Yeah, that was the most if you say so type message.
OP responds, it would be more suspicious if he hadn't actively been updating me on his trip the entire time he was there, including information about his brother being a spicy, sleep-addicted scumbag. The only information that was new to me was that his brother had given him contraceptives. I already knew his oldest brother had been trying to get both him and his other brother to cheat while he was there. Thank you for the concern. The update to the update.
Wow.
There's another update, but what do you have any other?
Within an update.
It's a meta update. But do you have any thoughts? New ones?
I think
Old ones.
It seems like some people are still holding on to this, like, I don't know, it seems a little convenient.
Yeah.
Like, that lie seems a little elaborate, but
It seems like we kind of moved on from that in this story. It seems like we're just kind of OP's focusing on our mental health now.
yeah. And also, like, probably feels pretty good to just, like, because she said, like, I know I don't owe anybody an explanation of my mental health, but it's like probably pretty cathartic to just like write all that out anyway.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think so. It seems like she was trying to verbalize all of these thoughts that are going on, which is why journaling is really helpful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. You guys,
it's like,
writing every day helps me
yeah.
stay in touch with reality.
Yeah.
I think the missing contraceptives, the secret contraceptives, the hidden contraceptives, whatever. He just took them from his brother and forgot about him because he was like, I
think I believe him.
Yeah. Leave me alone, loser. Fine, I'll take them. Now, will you shut up?
Oh, please, quiet.
Yeah.
But there is a little bit more to this update. I'm low-key regretting posting an update at all. I don't know why the opinions of strangers bothers me, but it's kind of annoying that so many people didn't read the entire thing and just said I wrote all of that to convince myself. I wrote that a full 24 hours after I had my conversation with him and debated posting anything at all because I figured people would be convinced he cheated regardless of anything I had to say. People on Reddit will all, like, there's always going to be people that are like, your boyfriend's cheating on you.
Yeah.
Even if that isn't part of the story.
Yeah, they'll just say it.
They're just gonna
They'll just
say
pull it out of left field.
They're like OP's talking about her mental health, and that's the whole story. And they're like, I think your boyfriend's cheating on you.
Yeah, could your mental health be spiraling because your boyfriend's cheating on you?
And she's like, I don't think
like,
I mentioned
no,
that.
I'll add that to the list of things I'm worried and upset about now. Thanks.
It's detailed because so many people had different things to say about different parts of my original post. I thought if I just posted, his brother gave him the contraceptives, people would say that was a vague answer. Of course, it feels like a complex story to someone who never heard about his trip, but the only things I didn't already know was that his brother had given him contraceptives. His trip was a crap show. He was on the phone with me every single day, telling me about it, and fell asleep on the phone with me 99% of the time. He wasn't going out at night. He wasn't partying. Half his trip he spent with his estranged mother and her crazy, racist, abusive boyfriend who kept accusing him of stealing and saying wild crap about how he couldn't believe my boyfriend would sleep with a slur like me. I'm African American. Oh my God.
Oh my God. Nightmare trip.
His brother sucks.
Dude.
Yikes.
Wow.
Alvin, go freaking sing a song. Stop being racist. I had to talk.
Alvin and the Chipmunks
Alvin
are canceled.
I had to talk him down on the phone to keep him from freaking out and endangering himself because he had no way of getting home if his mom's boyfriend kicked him out. Oh, wait. Who was the... Oh, it was the mother's boyfriend, not Alvin, who was crazy. So just everyone on this trip sucks.
But Alvin does still
Alvin
suck.
sucks for other reasons, but the mother's boyfriend is the racist one.
Yeah.
I feel really bad for Theo because he went on this trip to, get closer to his family and meet people that he hasn't met. And he's just stuck in this group of terrible people.
Well, yeah, he got to learn wow, I don't want to meet these people. I don't want to.
They suck.
It'd be so nice to not be close to these people for the rest of my life.
Darn, I'm related to them.
Oh.
Ooh. He already got abandoned in a random town in Portugal by them for a full day and a half at one point. I'm not surprised the contraceptives slipped his mind. If he hadn't mentioned constant communication with me while he was there, I'd be more suspicious. If he hadn't told me about all the other crazy crap his brother pulled while he was there, I'd be more suspicious. If he had gotten defensive at all, I'd be suspicious. He didn't lie to me. He didn't know they were there. The bag has 1 million pockets, and he only really uses one of them. The pocket seemed empty from the outside. He forgot he stashed them there. But you should never forget to join us live every weekday at 3 p.m. PST on YouTube. Just tap our profile.
We're not stashed. We're right here.
You
know where we are.
Right out in the open. People seem so sure that I'm this naive, spineless person when I'm not.
Yeah, stop making assumptions, internet.
Reddit. I think it's very clear that OP is facing all of these issues pretty head on.
Yeah.
She's not snooping through her partner's stuff. She's not accusing him of anything outright.
Well, I think that's why she made the post, because it really was so confusing of he was falling asleep on the phone with me every day.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. And then it's well, how are these here?
What happened here? And she handled it like a professional. If you'd read what I said about my mental health, you would know I already have a tendency to be hypervigilant about red flags and be avoidant to protect myself. I don't like being vulnerable. I don't like depending on other people. I mentioned my boyfriend never yelling or cussing because I've quite literally never witnessed him get angry. The most upset I've seen him was when he was trying to defend me while he was in Europe. He's probably the most calm/stoic person I've ever met. I love that about him. I love him. And I trust him. Also, his last serious relationship ended with him catching his ex in the act of cheating on him. She had mental health issues and responded to being caught by attempting to off herself by walking into traffic. Oh my God. So they both have a lot of trauma concerning past exes.
Yeah, that's quite a full.
Yes.
The trauma bucket is full.
Very
for
full.
both of these individuals.
Overflowing. I know some internet troll is going to say that's another far-fetched story, but I know it's true. His best friend's mom, who is basically also his mom, pulled me aside when she met me and told me that she was glad he found someone that makes him so happy after everything he went through with her. I don't think he would cheat on me after going through something like that. He's a really good person. He's fully capable of being a support system for me. I was just afraid to let him because I didn't want him to feel like he had to worry about me or take care of me the way he did with her. That's not healthy, though. I'm trying to be better at trusting people when they say they want to be there for me, and that includes him. And there is more to the story, but really quick. I was actually just talking to a friend about this, specifically in the like with when you're sick and people say, hey, like, let me know if you need anything.
Yeah.
And she was telling me, she was like, when people say that, I take them up on it. I'm like, yes, I need this. Or like, I need something, because if they're going to offer, they should be able to follow through.
It usually, for me, it depends on the proximity of that person to me.
I mean,
like if
then
someone's
why would
like,
they offer?
let me know if you need anything, and I know they live like on the complete other side of town, it's like,
they shouldn't have offered.
I'm not going to be like, yeah, give me some chicken soup. Like,
well, they can Grubhub it to you.
Oh, I guess they could.
Yeah. They should be doing stuff for you. If they're
but
offering,
I'm sick, not my bank account. Like, I don't know.
I mean, you could always pay for it. You could just be like, hey, can you?
Oh, I don't want to use my thumbs. Please.
My head really hurts.
I don't want to look at my phone.
But I liked that.
As you look at your phone to send this message to that person. They just be like, what? Just like they explain, like, I just on principle, I thought I'd take you up on your offer.
Yeah, you
offered it because you like me, right? We're friends.
But in that vein of when people offer you help or want you to reach out to them, you can take them up on that. They shouldn't be offering if they don't want to actually follow through.
Yeah, I mean, that should be like, just make a mental note of that.
Yeah. And if they
don't,
then
react
you know
like,
not,
like, why are you asking me to do stuff? You just make a note like, okay, this person not reliable when they say things.
Exactly. We met at school. He sat behind me in class, so he couldn't even really see me. When I asked him later what most attracted him to me, he said that I was well-spoken. My appearance was just a bonus. I don't want to sound conceited, but there is rarely a time when I'm in public and I'm not approached by someone who wants to catcall me, compliment me, or ask me out. I was almost kidnapped twice as a teenager. I hate being approached. Oh my God.
Just another ladle of trauma into the bucket for OP.
This is really terrible.
I think that almost happened to me once too, but it's
it's
not confirmed. I'm pretty sure I got scouted. With a friend in Texas, yeah.
Oh my God.
Pretty sure we got scouted. Pretty sure.
That's terrifying. I hate being asked out. I turned down every other person that approached me at school trying to hook up or ask me out. But when he did it, he was so nervous and respectful, and he felt different somehow, so I said yes. On our very first date, he took me to an art museum. We went to an amusement park after that. He followed that up with a picnic under the stars where we spoke for at least 5 or 6 hours about our lives and what we wanted in the future. It felt scary at the time because it was the best date I've ever been on in my life, and I didn't think I was ready for anything serious. And he came along and made me feel so comfortable and at ease. We both come from emotionally volatile parents and are trying to do our best not to become them. We connected right away, but I still wanted to take things slow. It took 6 months before I was ready to make things official. Damn. Which makes sense because OP has gone through a lot. During that time, he made it clear that I was the only one he was interested in. He detailed my car multiple times.
Whoa.
Oh my God. Where are these people out here detailing cars?
So where are these people? Can you tell me? Please tell me where they are.
Brought me flowers, got my cat little holiday themed bandanas.
What?
He bought me vinyls of albums that he noticed I listened to in the car. Oh my God.
This guy's making me feel bad.
What the frick?
About
man?
Everything I've ever done.
Yeah, what are you even doing?
I'm not doing anything compared to this guy.
He did all of this without expecting anything in return and still does these things to this day. He's trying to learn how to braid so we don't have to get my hair done anymore. When he moved in, he organized my whole closet without me asking because he remembered me complaining about it and wanted to take something off my chest. He saw I'd been wanting a Gustav Westman mirror for a while and built me one.
What?
With his hands.
Is his name Gustav Westman?
Yeah, is it a real Gustav Westman?
Imagine this whole story now takes a huge pivot and she's actually like, and I was really upset that he thought that was good enough for me. I want my real Gustav.
Took me to Home Depot and let me pick out the color I wanted it and everything. He treats me like a queen. The only rough patch in our relationship has been over the past couple of months when our intimacy decreased, but I have faith things will get better. Finding those contraceptives freaked me out, but I'm over it now. It's been resolved. If you can't see the value he adds to my life, that's your problem.
Yeah.
I'm happy, as you should be.
Yeah,
You're getting car detailings for free. Who does that?
What is up with you? Is your car just disgusting, Sophia?
No, but
you're just like, I need somebody to clean my car.
It's pretty dirty.
Help.
I would love if someone cleaned my car. I just like vacuum the inside.
Oh, wait. It's from all the dirt.
Yeah.
It's from all the dirt that you eat.
Yes. I just scoop. I have handfuls of dirt on the floor of my car that I just eat.
Just as a snack.
Mm-hmm.
A little treat.
I'm not responding to any more comments about it. I appreciate everyone that was supportive and recognize the effort I put into my emotional regulation. I'm going to take a break from Reddit and enjoy the life I have. And that is the end of that story.
Wow.
Man, oh man, what a beautiful tale.
Yeah, that was like a whole little life story. That gives me like hope.
A little slice of life.
Yeah, because I'll tell you, I was not thinking like everything will be fine.
No, I thought there was going to be a little bit more juiciness.
Top end of that, I was like, this dude got
caught. It's got to be something.
Caught in 4K.
Yeah. But no, he was caught loving in
It was
4K.
his lame chipmunk brother.
Classic.
Turns out.
Classic Alvin move.
It was his chipmunk brother.
Cue the, what's the guy? What's the actor who's
What was your favorite chipmunk out of the
Simon.
three? Mine too.
Yeah.
The blue one?
Mm-hmm.
The tall blue one with the smart blue, tall blue?
Small, smart blue, tall.
Smart blue, tall? Okay.
But we also have a little boy story.
Story?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if they're from Missouri. Okay. I'm not comfortable attending my girlfriend's corporate party. She has bedroom history with her coworkers.
She got bedroom history?
Bedroom history.
They actually just went to IKEA one time.
Yeah, they were just picking out
Furniture.
the frame. They were just looking for the frame.
Yeah, and then they had to test it.
Of course.
Of course.
Of course. This is August 14th, 2024. My, male 31, girlfriend, female 27, of roughly 2.5 years, her work is planning their usual annual company Christmas party where employees and their partners/spouses, optional but supposedly preferred, are invited to attend for an overnight stay, meal, party, open bar, etc. Wow, that's a real
overnight stay?
That's a super
swanky,
legit work party.
Yeah.
What?
We should have a work. We are having a work party.
We're gonna do that. Yeah. I've never been to the previous events due to a work commitment last year. And the year prior, we were still quite a new couple. And by the way, this comes from user ZT0141 on the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, she works for a large nationwide recruitment agency, and each year a different city's office hosts, and those not from the region normally stay in a fancy hotel booked by the company. They are in the process of confirming the total number of guests, and she'd like me to go. As a heads up, we are very open and communicate well, I'd say. She's told me that prior to us dating, on her first work's Christmas party, after a few drinks, she went to an after party in one of the guys' hotel rooms and engaged in a ménage à trois with two dudes from her office as a bit of a bucket list experience.
Okay, bucket list.
Okay, go ahead and cross that off the bucket list. After thinking about it, I've said to her I'd rather give it a miss, but I'm totally happy for her to go on her own. She's told me that it's important to her from a career perspective, as it's good for her image get to meet in person with people she works with from other regions and can socialize with the senior management that everyone from work's partners attend. We have since been arguing all last week, and I've been accused of not supporting her career as I've never attended her previous work events, being immature, and shaming her.
Ooh.
Oh no, those are some heavy accusations.
Whoa, wait, so she was like, do you want to come? And he's like, like maybe not this time. And she's like, you're shaming me.
What are you ashamed of me?
Yeah.
Oh, I get it.
And I know how you feel.
I know how it is, huh? Okay. I really honestly don't think any of this. It was something that she had done prior to meeting me. We do hold differing views on the spice of sleep, As for me, it is always something special where she views it as something that's just for a bit of fun. This isn't an issue and has actually been good for us as we've learned a lot from each other. I'm even comfortable with the fact that she still works alongside those two guys. I know she's had a lot more spicy partners than me, but as she has always viewed casual, a spicy sleep when she was single as a bit of fun, and I know deep down it wasn't meaningful. So that sounds like pretty emotionally mature, honestly, from my perspective. Accepting someone's history is one thing. People are entitled to a spicy sleep life. I'm cool with that. The past is the past, but this feels different as it feels like the present, and socializing at the same party with my girlfriend and the two males that have been intimate with her is a different task. It makes me feel awkward/uncomfortable. I thought it would be easier to say that I'm not attending. Having asked if others at her work knew, she said yes, as one or both of the guys did spread rumors afterwards, which that sucks.
That's so messed up.
How
Why
are you cool
talking
with those
about
guys?
that at work?
How those guys are not cool. No one should be
What?
cool with those guys.
Cast them out. Fire them.
Yeah. So those guys did spread rumors afterwards, and it's also been a bit of it has been office banter and nicknames about it.
Oh my God.
Wow, that's a pretty loose office.
Yeah, they're like, hey, Eiffel Tower.
They're pretty relaxed in there. yeah. That's their division.
Bonjour.
Hey, I heard you guys are working down in France today. Oh, God. Okay. So she has said that it doesn't bother her, which I guess, thinking about it, that's got to be the best.
Yeah,
That's
she's
really
like,
the only thing that
it's
matters.
fine.
If it doesn't bother her, then
we have a little bit of a laugh, you know.
She's confident and the type of person that would own it. The place gives me finance bro vibes. Yeah, that's
that
probably
does
true.
give finance bro vibes.
The thought of shaking hands and making small talk or sharing a table for a meal with guys who have done the deed with my girlfriend is difficult. For context, we are in a good place. We rarely argue and have recently been talking about marriage and having kids, etc. And really do have a great relationship all around and don't want to do anything that would harm her or her career. I posted about my situation on another subreddit, but feel like here might be more helpful for me. Am I overreacting? Turns out strangers on the internet are actually really helpful.
Sometimes.
We do have some relevant comments, but it's like, what do you... Let's make our own assumptions here.
I'm trying to figure out what like the question is here of am I overreacting for feeling uncomfortable about her going to the party, or
no,
because
he's comfortable with her going.
He's
doesn't want to go. Fully comfortable with her going. He's not. He doesn't want to go. And she was like, "You're ruining my career."
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's just, you know, would you feel miserable the whole time you went?
I think I might. No lie. Like,
maybe you just talk to your partner and say, hey, like I trust you completely, but I think I would just feel a little bit bad.
Yeah, because it's one thing about like someone having a past and being like, I accept that, and like now we live in the present. Like, but
having to interact with them,
having it being like a thing where the whole office kind of knows about it.
That is also hard. That's true.
That's the thing that would make me. I'm like,
and it's like banter.
So it's like then I'm gonna end up being like the butt of some kind of joke here.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, it's like, look at that buddy over there is climbing the Eiffel Tower. And it's like, I don't want to have to make a scene.
Yeah.
Because I might have to make a scene if people got disrespectful with me.
Yeah.
But I digress. Let's get into these comments. It's from Merrily Dreaming. It says, honestly, I do think this is something you need to work through. Maybe you can avoid going this year, but if she stays with this company, at some point, her fiance or husband's refusal to ever go to a work event is going to impact her reputation.
That's a good point.
You know what else is going to impact her reputation? I think we all know what's going to impact her reputation. The rumor that's already been spread around the whole office.
But it seems like, her reputation is fine.
Right. So, yeah, but... and okay.
Well, or at least she's chill with her reputation. So why is she...
she's chill with that.
Why is she now like, no, this part of the reputation is...
I mean, is that really that big of a deal? Like in the corporate world, it's like, your husband doesn't like us. You're off the team. Yeah. We're demoting you because your husband's not cool.
It's just like,
it's like, what?
He's an introvert. That's
my husband doesn't work here, dog. What are you talking about?
That would be weird.
I think it is better for you to just get it over with and see that it's really more something you've built up in your head. Perhaps it would help if you tried not thinking of it as socializing. These kinds of events are essentially mandatory for her, and your behavior or refusal to show up does reflect on her. She is not asking you to be best friends with these guys. Just be polite in a professional setting for a short time. OP's response: thank you for your response. I do understand not attending prior or future events as a spouse is bad for her reputation, although I feel like the previous were valid reasons. Her being honest about it is appreciated, but I'm just trying to get over the social awkwardness that I've built up in my head. Peanuts and Cheese 2021. She was a consenting partner in that ménage à trois. By being upset or unwilling to go to a place because of the other two partners, you are undermining her choice and agency as a person. What if you wanted her to attend a wedding where your ex was present? It's not the partner, it's the fact that it was a ménage à trois, and you are kind of making moral judgments. Plus, also afraid the two guys will think that they have something over on you. Is that correct? OP says, well, yeah, I'd say you're mostly right.
Like, well, yeah, it's mostly right.
Yeah, it sounds like you pretty much hit every main issue.
Way.
However, it's not the act of her choosing to be part of the ménage à trois itself that I'm judging. She was single at the time. It's just more difficult because it was a ménage à trois. There are just numerically more ex-partners to be around, and that feels intimidating. I don't know if it's me feeling that they have something over me that makes me nervous. I can accept her past, and ultimately, she's my girlfriend now. It's the attitude those two guys hold that could be a problem, as she's told they spread gossip of her encounter to others in the company and use slut-shaming type nicknames for her when they think she's not around.
Wait, so this is
not
an
cool.
HR problem.
This is like, HR needs to get involved because these two guys are like systemically trying to hurt her reputation.
Yeah.
Which is what I was trying to say earlier, where it's like, like, if you don't come to the work event, my reputation's going to go down. It's like, maybe you should talk to HR about the guys telling everyone about your threesome.
Yeah. I mean, it's one thing to be like, oh, I just own it, but also you shouldn't have to. You should be able to talk to your boss or HR or whatever and be like, hey, this is inappropriate behavior. We're talking about something not work related that has to do with me, and I don't feel comfortable with it.
They must be making so much money over there for this stuff to be happening.
Yeah. For
this stuff to just be flying.
Just to be so chill.
How much money do you have to make to be like completely unbothered by like two of your coworkers like spreading rumors about your hotel encounter?
Who cares?
It's like, I don't care, dude. I'm just I'm here to work. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Okay. I'd feel uncomfortable and probably emasculated to hear that said about her while I was there. You'd feel emasculated.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, that's
Buddy,
weird.
What are you talking about?
Why are you feeling emasculated? Why aren't you feeling like, hey, freaking stop talking about my girlfriend that way?
Yeah, I feel like the emotional energies are like swapped, where it's like
damn,
he needs to just be like cool about it and be like, hey, you know what? It's my girlfriend now. And she needs to be more like, y'all need to stop talking about me like this.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's another update. So let's just go ahead and jump into it.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, everyone. I thought I'd provide an update on the situation I posted about a while back. First of all, I really appreciate all the advice and feedback I received, both positive and negative. It gave me a lot to think about, and also the ability to structure some important conversations between my girlfriend and I. Okay, one point I just wanted to clarify, based on some of the comments and DMs, is that I'm not ashamed of her past at all. Before we started dating, I knew due to being part of an overlapping social group, she had a spice of sleep positive outlook, and she was open about the fact that she had been with about 50 guys. That was never an issue for me. We may well have different experiences, as I've only been with 3 long-term girlfriends prior, but it wasn't something that held me back from pursuing and starting a relationship with her, and not something that has ever been an issue. What made this situation feel different was that I'd be in a room, possibly sat at the same table for dinner, with people who are still actively referencing that past experience. I've never had to deal with that face-to-face, and the idea of those same people making jokes with me in the room or even about me made the situation feel more socially uncomfortable. So, update. Okay, update. After some deep conversations and listening to each other's point of view, My girlfriend helped me understand her perspective more clearly. She expressed that being the only person from her office without a partner would make her feel awkward and isolated and possibly lacking social support during the event. Which, now that you mention it, that's probably pretty important. Because she's got these two guys who are like dogging on her, like being like, yeah.
Like, I just want someone there so I don't have to interact with these awful guys.
Hey, look at Hotel Susie walking in through the front door. It's like, I'd like my significant other to be there with me instead of
like, hey,
being like, shut up.
She's closed for business.
That's right. We're shutting it down. She was also surprised and somewhat upset when I changed my mind about attending, as it raised a small doubt that I was viewing this with the idea of shaming her. We also had a constructive conversation around her views on spicy sleep positivity. Her confidence in celebrating that part of her life has helped me have a different perspective. She reassured me that any teasing and nicknames at work don't bother her, so why should it bother me? Any terms like sleut should not be seen as insults. Instead, something to be proud of, and offer her an ability to own and reclaim a woman's sexuality without shame.
She sounds freaking sick.
Yeah, I mean, that does sound pretty cool, but also don't let these guys talk down on you.
I do think it's one thing to be like, you know, I'm confident in myself and I don't freaking care what they say. But I still do think that it's an issue with that workplace environment, especially if there are other women who are experiencing this and maybe do not have that same level of confidence that she does.
If you're worried about your reputation at work, I would assume you'd probably want to be like, hey, let's keep it profesh. Yeah. Let's keep it a little more professional in here, fellas.
It's like, why are we talking about this at work?
Yeah, come on. Anyways, especially since men involved in stuff like that are held to a different standard than her, which I guess that's true. Mm-hmm. If she can be proud of herself while confidently standing by her choices, then I realized I should wholeheartedly support that as well. Anyway, I've decided to go to the event.
Okay, amazing.
There we go.
The solution.
I still have some reservations, but I realize it's important to show my support in her work life. I trust her, and if she's comfortable in that environment, I want to be too. At the end of the day, I'm happy of how open and unapologetic she is about her views, and I don't want to let my discomfort or something as trivial as the possibility of being the target of jokes get in the way of supporting her fully. And by the way, we will always fully support you joining us live on YouTube every weekday at 3 p.m. PST. Just tap our profile.
Tap it.
So, I mean, we're at the party.
We've gotten to the party. I think, OP, it's normal to feel a little bit of, some reservations or maybe some like, I don't know how it's going to go. But you're with your partner. You guys can support each other.
Yeah. The support structure, the support system is there.
It's a team.
That's how I feel going to every party I ever go to.
You're like, I need
being like, oh man, I don't know how this is going to go.
That's why I always take a friend to any party that I go to. Yeah. My friend Stevie, I said, do you want to come to this party with me? And she's like, yeah. I got you. And it's great.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. We everybody needs a little support sometimes.
It's true.
Well, I, for one, am glad that he is on the sex positivity.
Yeah.
The spice. Dang.
The spice positivity.
The spice must flow. Anyway.
OP
let's
is Lisan Al-Gaib.
Let's finish it off, Lisan Al-Gaib.
There we go. I said it wrong.
We've had some great discussions about careers, the spicy sleep, relationships, women, and society that have only made our relationship stronger.
Okay, I freaking love that.
Whoa, so they got philosophical.
They were like, women just don't have, the same, we just don't have the same rights. And he's like, yeah, you're so right about that.
You totally don't.
I didn't think about that before.
Do you want to kiss about it?
Yeah, he was like, what if we made out so that I could help you?
So I could transfer some of my rights from my body into yours.
You're welcome.
Don't know if that's going to work, but we can always try. Thanks again for all the advice. It has been a huge help. Oh, and we do have some more relevant comments here. Laximum Effort says, what kind of a-holes would talk about that encounter at work? That's what I'm saying. If you're going to be with her long term, you'll need to be at these types of events. And if those two make any comments, the easiest is to act like you didn't hear it. Any more than that, you could quip about how she mentioned how crappy they were in bed, or say how you look forward to sharing this story with their next girlfriend. Whatever you do, you can't appear like you were fazed by it. I mean, I love how that was talking like it was like prison rules. Where it's
Yeah,
like
you
if they make a
can't
joke
look like
about
you're
it, you
phased.
immediately have to like you can't be phased.
It's like when Aang.
You have to assert your dominance immediately.
It's like when Aang goes to see the face stealer, Ko.
Oh yeah,
He's like,
it was such a good episode.
such a good episode.
So freaky.
So that's you.
Shout
OP.
out Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Shout out.
OP's response to that comment. From what I know, the company is very much finance bro vibes, and these guys come across as bragging D-bags.
I don't even know them, and they come across that way.
Yeah, they really do. But just because they view something like this the way they do doesn't mean everyone else should. They should be held to the same standard as her for doing the same thing.
Literally.
Right? It's like, why is it cool for them and not cool for her?
I mean, like, why are they even talking about it? I mean, why are you telling everyone about this?
Viva la France.
Come on.
That's just what happens. Sometimes you go to France. Sometimes you go to France, you become the Eiffel Tower. And then it sticks at work.
Stop it.
But they must be making, again, they've got to be making
a lot of
if this is finance, bro, they're making millions of dollars.
They're making money.
For that kind of attitude to just be completely disregarded.
Yeah.
Like, you got to be, 7 zeros.
'Cause,
That's how
if
unfazed
everyone
you got to be.
at the office knows and no one's brought it up, it's,
Because they're too busy rolling around in giant piles of money.
They're doing the Scrooge McDuck thing when they swim in their gold.
Yeah, which if you did that, you'd just break your neck.
You would die.
If you dive into a pile of gold coins, you can't swim in it.
Okay, but they bring it up. Scrooge knows how to do it.
Well, he's a duck.
No,
It's because he's a duck.
Okay, but specifically Scrooge McDuck, he knows the secret trick.
He knows the secret to swimming in money?
Yeah.
He unlocked the secret technique.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Okay.
Yes.
Well, and that is the end of that story.
Woo!
But if do we have any more? I know we definitely have
donations.
Some more donations.
We do have more donations
because and Chaitra says
Yeah,
I got her name
Chaitra.
right.